Welcome back to our last Cabral HouseCall of the weekend. Excited that you could join me here today. We went over so many great questions yesterday. I do hope that you were able to tune in because we answered, about 5 or 6 questions. The first one on low thyroid and radioactive iodine ablation, and if you're able to recover from that. We also spoke with Ree, and Ree was asking about different types of antibiotics and basically stones on the salivary glands and what might be helpful. We spoke about babies that wake up 5 to 10 times a night, especially after that first couple months. What can you do? We talked about hormonal balance to burn more body fat. And we also spoke about different products to use to be able to heal leaky gut. So really fun show, great show. I hope that you were able to tune into that. If not, just head on over to StephenCabral.com/1758 after today's show. Today, if you want to follow along with the questions, we'll be starting with Kelsey. That will be at StephenCabral.com/1759. Again, thank you as always for joining me here on the weekends. I do hope that you tune in when the show is released. Always fun being able to do this on the same day here with you. Okay, first things first, just want to share with you every single weekend, if you're new to the show, we go over all things wellness, weight loss, anti-aging. We go over some health coaching questions, anything goes really, mindset, anything related to mind, body, and getting the most out of life. That's what we really try to talk about. I always share with people, I just want people to know I can't give you medical advice. I can't share with you a diagnosis. I can't give you medical-based protocols or treatments or cures, right? That's not what this show is meant to be. That's the disclaimer. What I can do is share with you over 20 years of experience, 250,000 client appointments, and just really looking back as to all of the different people that we've worked with in the past and currently work with today, and hopefully giving you a better place to look in terms of rebalancing your underlying root causes, keeping you from the life that you want to live. All right. Last things last, if you didn't know, all of these are now on video. Every single Cabral Concept podcast since this past October are on YouTube. You can just go onto YouTube. I'm sure you've heard of it before. And you can just type in my name, Stephen Cabral. It's Stephen with a PH. And that's the name of my channel, Stephen Cabral. Pretty original. And you can check out a daily show right over there. We'll have much more to come in the future as well. Individual YouTube-based shows. And of course, on every single show notes page like today, StephenCabral.com/1759, you can also watch the video there as well. Okay, let's get started. First question is from Kelsey. Kelsey says, collagen deficiencies run in my family. The females get really saggy skin, especially all over the legs, and I've noticed my upper eyes are having the first signs of drooping. I take collagen supplements, but I just read something about collagen not being absorbed unless taken with silica. Is this true? Can you recommend any anti-aging tips for better collagen production or just general anti-aging recommendations? Kelsey, I'm happy to, and I just want to remind you, if you head on over to StephenCabral.com/podcasts, you'll be able to type in collagen right there. And I've got a bunch of shows on collagen. The reason why this is important is because I've gone over these collagen tips before, and I'm happy to go over this question as well today. But really, I'm typically 5 to 6 weeks behind in answering your questions just because there's been a queue of people already lined up. And I want to let you know that I've answered this before. Again, I'm going to answer it right now for you. And let me give you the answer. But I want you to know that you can use a search box and you can find the answers that you're looking for within a minute rather than me waiting to give you that answer, because it's typically never going to change. Okay, so collagen can be great to take. We have a product that I formulated called Advanced Collagen Support. To my knowledge, there is not a more powerful collagen product out there. The very best in the world. It's the only product that I know of that has 3 patent ingredients: Mobilee, Tendoactive, and Fortigel, right? I've never seen any other product with 3 patent ingredients. It's expensive for us to make. We don't put a big markup on that product because it's the best product. Like I would say, here's the thing. I create products that I also want to use, and I want to use them with my family and in my practice. And then I offer them all over the world. So that's what I did. I use this product. I just put it in my smoothie every single morning. It's simple, the best product out there. However, I tell people, collagen should not be your first product. You should be doing the daily foundational protocol before anything else. Because I agree with you. your body needs all the cofactors. So if you're not using a good daily activated multi or the daily nutritional support, if you're not using omega-3s, go with that. If you're not taking a good, even digestive enzyme or daily probiotic support, go with that. A daily fruit and vegetable blend to get 22 organic fruits and vegetables. Like, all of these are important. You can find those over at EquiLife, which is just equi.life is the website, EQUI.life. Those are all my protocols over there. Now, besides those, what I recommend, and it's called our beauty bundle. Really simply put, honestly, simple. Vitamin C, collagen, zinc. So get your daily activated multi. The simplest thing, honestly, to do is just use the daily nutritional support. So you get all of that. And then you can use the zinc, you can use the vitamin C to make more of your own collagen. You can't just take collagen product without your body being able to then utilize it, synthesize it, and make more of your own, right? And you want to make sure that also that you're not on a low protein diet. Now, so that's that. That's my recommendations. Obviously, that's succinct. That's shorter than I would have given you on previous podcasts. But what I'd like you to also remember is that with aging, the lower your estrogen levels, progesterone a little bit as well, but the lower your estrogen levels, the more the sagging of the skin. So do keep that in mind as well. There are levels to this, and estrogen can be part of that equation as well. So hopefully that's helpful. All right. Now that I'm staring at a black screen on my iPad, I need to log back in, and here we go. So next question is from Lara. Hi, Dr. Brawl. My question is regarding soaking nuts and seeds. There are so many contradictory information out there. I'm really confused. Some say everything should be soaked to minimize the phytic acid and enzyme inhibitors. Others that some nuts and seeds don't have to be: cashew, Brazil nuts, pistachios, pine nuts, smaller seeds like sesame, chia, linseed, hemp seeds. Which info is correct and why? Then you read that it should be soaked in water with a little salt in it, but a nutritionist I asked said that binds the minerals in them and takes it out of the nuts, so it's not recommended. Then there is so many different information on how long to soak, which nuts, seeds, and grains and legumes, how long is best for which. Then some say to soak in a refrigerator, others not to. How about roasting them afterwards? Does that take away any of the nutrients, or just leaving them soaked and probably refrigerated so they don't go bad? Basically, I'm interested in all information about this topic, but don't know where to find it because everyone says different stuff. Also, is it bad to eat a lot of these? Thank you so much. As always, you're a lifesaver. Lots of love to everyone healing out there. Laura, thank you. We wish you the same. So, it's a great question. Unfortunately, there's no one easy answer, but I'm going to break it down for you. Phytic acid, in high amounts, it's not great for you. But in small amounts, it can actually be good for you. And I've done a whole podcast on the anti-nutrient phytic acid. And I would check that out because I can't go through my answer on phytic acid right now. It's a whole podcast on it. I go through research on how it's actually good for the colon, good for the gut, how phytic acid doesn't bind up any more than somewhere between like single digits and maybe up to 30% of the minerals. And it's only specifically within a couple hours. So like it's blown out of proportion a lot of the time, but what I would say, it's easier to digest sprouted seeds and nuts. And my answer is yes, it is. There's no doubt about that. If you're able to soak and sprout seeds and nuts, it is easier. But just like you said, some nuts and seeds don't need to be soaked or sprouted as much. And pine nuts is a perfect example, right? Pinolia nuts. And one of the reasons that is that it does not contain as much of that phytic acid. So basically you want to look at it like this. The harder the outside shell, the more of that phytic acid, the more it would need to be soaked and sprouted. And it's just going to take longer. And so that's why there is no specific time period. And so that's why I'm not dodging your question. I'm actually giving you the truthful answer. There isn't a specific timetable for each specific nut. Now that will vary, and it's within, like hours to, not hours, but days, right? So that's that. What I would say is it prevents a lot of people from eating nuts and seeds because they're worried about all of these different processes. Okay. Humans have eaten nuts and seeds for a very long time. One of the biggest things is this. Humans don't chew their food. That's one of the biggest factors. If you eat nuts or seeds, you should chew them up and grind them up with your teeth. Not grind your teeth, but grind them up. That mixes the saliva. It mixes different enzymes in there. Again, I know they're mostly amylase, but it enables you to make it easier to digest. That's a big thing because digestion limits the amount of nuts and seeds you can eat. Because if it gives you digestive issues, well, then you ate too many nuts and seeds. How many is too many nuts and seeds? Well, typically in a sitting, 2 to 3 tablespoons is a normal amount. That's a normal amount of nuts and seeds. So that's what I would look at. Oh, and believe me, then we go down the oxidative process, meaning, okay, should you roast them afterwards? Well, I did a show on a Friday review of sesame seeds can actually be more powerful when toasted, which means roasted. But for the most part, honestly, I don't recommend the roasting. I do recommend raw, sprouted, organic whenever possible. And so I know it's not the perfect answer. Maybe I'll do a whole show on this. If there's enough, remember, this show is about you. And so if there are enough people asking me to do a show on soaking, sprouting, nuts and seeds, which ones, how long, I'm happy to do that as well. But hopefully that gave you the information. One more thing I'll just add is if I buy nut butters, I like to buy the sprouted. They cost more for sure, but I like to buy the sprouted nut butters. Like I like to buy a sprouted pumpkin seed butter. Easy to digest. You get good quality iron. You get good quality zinc. It's pretty delicious. Very pungent taste, but very delicious. And then again, like macadamia nuts, I don't worry about sprouting or soaking macadamia nuts. I just eat macadamia nuts. And again, here's an easier thing too. You can just throw 2 tablespoons in your blender when you're making a smoothie instead of buying nut butters. Well, there you go. Now you have a nut butter in your smoothie. It's fresh. It's raw. So hopefully that was helpful. All right. Thank you. So and that's why I hope that people are listening. I would love people, I know there's a time limit, but I would love people to tune into the show daily. And that's because it just popped into my mind that I had to go back and answer a question or add on to a question from last week's house calls about a specific question on choline. Okay, now remember it. Choline, someone asked about choline and they said, why do I smell fishy when I take choline? And I just came across different type of research that shows that people that are not detoxing sulfur well enough can actually have a little bit of a fishy body odor. And it made total sense. It just didn't, like some things just don't dawn on you right away. And believe it or not, there are a few nutritional supplements, with one of them being choline, that can lead to higher levels of sulfur. And if your body is not in perfect balanced health right now, it may lead to potentially that body odor. So I just wanted to bring that full circle. Whoever asked last weekend, there's your potential answer. And again, I think you can rebalance your body though, because I've done it myself with histamines and other issues so that you're able to have it in the future. Okay. Just wanted to throw that in there, and I'm going to call it choline and body odor. And okay. Next question is from Katarina, and Katarina is saying, I wanted to first thank you for all of your teaching. I'm almost finished with IHP level 2, and I've learned so much. I'm a registered nurse in a busy Boston hospital, and it's been quite a year. I am using the knowledge gained in IHP for my family and beginning a small practice helping others get their health back. What I haven't heard throughout, and with so many podcasts, I probably just missed it, is about air filters. I'm currently working my way through the whole podcast list and have searched for air filters and listened to those. I know you recommend a couple of freestanding ones, but what about just putting HEPA filters on forced hot air whole house systems? My husband asked me when I told him I wanted to buy an IQ Air, and I was a bit stumped at why IQ Air is better. He sort of just let me do whatever crazy health stuff I want, but I want a solid answer to stand behind here. Can I just put a filter on the heat air conditioning system I have now and filter the whole house at once? So it's a great question. There are 2 answers to this. Great question. Your husband knows what he's talking about. So 2 parts to this. 1, when you put the air filtering system on your HVAC unit, which you can do, you need to make sure that it still has the HEPA filter, that it has the mold filters, that it has all the different units that a good air doctor or IQ Air would. And again, you can look at all my recommendations at stephencabral.com/resources. Okay, so that's the first part of it. Just make sure that the air filter stands up to the same quality as the others. But there's a bigger part to this. When you open the door and you open the windows, other stuff gets in your house too, right? When you track stuff in your shoes, stuff gets in the house. When your dog comes in, stuff gets in the house. You pet your dog, it all goes in the air, right? This pet dander. I don't believe your HVAC duct work is going to help with that unless it pulls the air in and then spits it back out. Not a lot of people's homes do that, to be honest with you. And that's why I don't typically recommend it. Plus, you're talking about probably thousands of dollars to set that up. So anyway, it's not that you can't, but I'm not sure how those whole house units filter the air coming in from outdoors as well. Like in the city, I open my windows. How do I filter that through the HVAC? I don't think that I can, to my knowledge, but that's not my forte. So I just wanted to throw that out to you, and hopefully that helps Katarina. Ivana's up next. And by the way, fellow Bostonian, shout out, thank you. And thank you for all your work you've done in hospitals over the past year. I'm sure it has been very stressful and straining on you. Thank you. Okay, up next is Ivana, and Ivana says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. 2 years ago at age 22, I was diagnosed with Crohn's and had 5 centimeters of my small intestine removed due to a stricture. I am fully in remission, no medication, sticking to the kind of lifestyle you promote and doing great. I did the CBO protocol and now I'm on the CBO finisher. I cannot thank you enough for creating something like this protocol. It did wonders for me and I can't believe something so simple made a huge difference. Although I feel great now, I know that at some point in a year or two, I will need to do a colonoscopy or an MR enterography to check on my intestines. As you probably know, when preparing for such a procedure, they give you a bunch of aggressive laxatives and are artificially flavored and full of additives. How harmful is this in terms of wiping out the good bacteria in the intestines? Would there be any alternative way of cleansing your intestines? For instance, drinking just liquids and shakes for 2 days and then taking some more natural laxatives. Would it be useful to do the CBO protocol after the procedure? Thank you for all the work you do. The fact that the information you share in your 3-month protocol helped me more than 7 years of doctor's appointments says it all the best." Ivana, thank you very much. I mean, that means the world to me. I mean, that's why I do what I do, right? I mean, this is very important to me. The CBO protocol, there's nothing else like it in the world. It took me a good, strong decade to develop, and I'm really excited. It's a flagship product that we offer, and we are now happy to ship it all around the world. So that means a lot to me, as you just said there. But what I'd like to share with you is that when you do a colonoscopy, what the doctors do is they give you those liquids, and they're meant to essentially remove everything from your intestines. And that's so they can get a clear picture. And it's very important that they get a clear picture. So I can't give you medical advice, and so I can't tell you that you could fast for 2 days doing liquids only and take more natural laxatives, like the intestinal cleanse, to get that all out of your body. So, but you could choose to do that. It's your choice. It's your body. And that's that. And basically, like, worst cases, they're going to see still some stool in there, and it's going to make their job more challenging. So that's going to be up to you. Again, it's your body. It's your choice. What I would say is, if you do use all of their different laxatives and drinks and artificial sweeteners, I don't necessarily believe that I would do the full CBO protocol. That's probably not something that I would do. However, I would use that CBO finisher again, most likely, to repopulate the gut and really help with that gut wall. But instead of doing it for 12 weeks, you could just do it for that month-long protocol. That's most likely what I would do. And then if you wanted to add one more product, you could use the GI Balance for a couple weeks or a month, which is simply one soft gel mid-meal 3 times a day. So I do hope that helps. And Ivana, all the best. I just don't want to, you're doing well now, so I would hate to really throw off that gut flora with any protocols that we don't necessarily need, right? But I understand going for a colonoscopy and taking a look at your gut health. So I'm not standing in the way of that for sure. All right, Brianna is up next. Hello. So my doctor recommended me to go on the Candida diet, and I noticed there's a Candida and Bacterial Optimizer protocol, and I definitely want to try this due to the fact that I'm having a hard time coming up with meals to eat. However, I did notice one of the probiotics does have milk in it, and I've been vegan, plant-based for almost 5 years now, and I don't have dairy. So is there any way I could get this protocol without the probiotic that's on there and has milk. I'm currently taking a probiotic from my doctor, and the strains are the same, -2 strains. Okay, great question, Brianna. So please listen to my podcast that says Candida diets don't work. All right, you can just go to stephencabral.com/podcast and check this out. There's a caveat. You need to do a Candida diet, but it doesn't work by itself. And that's because you don't stay in a Candida diet for the rest of your life. And when you go back to eating normal food, the Candida just grows right back because you didn't rebalance the gut flora. So you want to do the diet with the CBO protocol. So we give all of that to you. Remember, our nutritional supplements are not the end all be all. They come with a protocol of how you then really get the body healthy. So it's nutritional supplement protocols plus food plans plus all the good lifestyles. So that is that with that. And by within 3 months, within 12 weeks, there's a product in there that has, now again, it doesn't have any milk, but we have to state that. The probiotics that come from that are extracted from milk, grown from milk, right? So they aren't milk. They're the good bacteria that's grown from milk. But we have to state that for FDA because we are one of the only companies, by the way, that states exactly what's in our products. Most companies, they don't label their products properly. They don't state exactly all the other ingredients. They don't put everything in there. But we're committed to letting you know that we do quality assurance testing. The dosages in there are actually what's in there, that we test for heavy metals. We do everything FDA by the book. Like, honestly, that's what we do. No GMOs in any of our products. Anyway, so within a few months, even the milk will be completely gone because we're just going to grow them in a different way. That's all. Okay, but yes, you can contact our company and we can help you with that. So what we'll do is we'll just take out that one probiotic. By the way, it's not all 3. So keep in mind, you don't want to use probiotics the first month of a CBO protocol. You use a very specific one, which is Saccharomyces boulardii. Then you move into single strain probiotics, which, by the way, month 2 is still dairy-free. That is one of the only dairy-free acidophilus on the market. And then by month 3, we move into that much more full spectrum. So you want to do these in specific order. That's why the CBO protocol is one of a kind. That's why it works so well. So I think I answered that pretty in depth. So Brianna, hopefully that's helpful. Just reach out. Just literally type support@equi.life. Support@equi.life, and we'll take care of you. There's no doubt about that. That's what we're committed to doing. All right. Brandon's up next. Do we have time for another question? No, we are over our limit. All right, Brandon, you'll be first next week. So I wanted to thank everyone who wrote in today, everyone, of course, that is listening to the show. We are at our time for today, but the show always goes on each and every day on the Cabral Concept. You can watch it at stephencabral.com, your favorite podcast player. You can watch it on YouTube. Check out the video every single day as well. So again, thank you so much, and I'll be back tomorrow with our Motivation and Mindset Monday. I'll talk with you then.